Are you really sure that burger in your value meal was actually beef? It sounds crazy, but a $5 combo at a time when beef prices keep climbing week after week is not as impossible as it seems. Especially when the patty turns out mushy bland and sometimes smells like stale cardboard. What most people don't realize is that some of the biggest fast food chains have quietly changed their recipes for budget combos. From the texture of the meat and artificial flavoring to those paper-thin fries and chicken that can't even stay crispy, every cut has a reason behind it. If you've ever felt something was off about your value meal, you're not alone. And in this video, you'll see how 5 major fast food chains in America are losing consumer trust, all in the name of being cheap. So maybe hold off on that next bite. Number 1. McDonald's Extra Value Meals. People used to say nothing beats a classic, but it seems McDonald's left that saying behind while chasing after value combos. Extra value meals. The name alone sounds familiar and comforting, like a promise that you'll get full, enjoy the food you love, and pay a fair price. A simple, all-in-one meal with no second guessing. But if you pause and look closely, you'll notice things aren't the same anymore. Do you remember what a Big Mac meal used to look like? And now the patty is thinner, the cheese slides off the bun, the fries are cut so short they look like a kid's portion, and the soda cup is filled halfway with ice. Sound familiar? That's shrinkflation. But this time it's not just about size. It's a full cut across the board, from quality and flavor to how satisfied you feel afterward. So what is the value McDonald's is actually serving in these extra value meals? First, let's talk about restructured meat. According to multiple reports to keep combo prices low, some chains have turned to restructured beef made from scraps pressed together with enzymes or binders. You might not know the term, but you've probably tasted it: patties that fall apart too easily, feel crumbly, and don't release any real beef juice like an authentic burger should. Some sharp-tongued customers have even noticed a faint sour note in their extra value meals burgers. Not strong enough to call spoiled, but odd enough to make you hesitate. One Reddit user described the taste as like cardboard soaked in sauce. Funny at first, but if you've ever bitten into a burger that felt mushy and flavorless, you know exactly what they meant. And it's not just the beef, there's also the issue of chicken being processed to the point of feeling spongy. McChicken or chicken nuggets in these combos no longer have that slight chew of real chicken. Instead, they taste airy hollow, like something pressed back together after being melted down. Even the fries haven't been spared. Once thick golden sticks that were crisp outside and fluffy inside, they're now often skinny brittle on the outside and hollow within. Field reports even suggest frying times are cut short to save oil and speed up service. So why call it extra value? What's extra about it? What's the value? Or is it just a label designed to trick you into feeling like you saved money, and the story doesn't end with quality? Marketing is where the polish really shines. A $5 combo looks like a bargain, but when people compare it with ordering items separately, many find it's not actually cheaper. In some cases, ordering the right way gets you more food. This strategy preys on people struggling with tight budgets. You walk into the store, see a crowded menu, and your eyes stop at the words extra value meals. It feels easy, convenient, no math needed. But in reality, you're paying for a smaller, weaker meal that keeps slipping further away from what it used to be. That's the scariest part. Nobody warns you. Nobody tells you the beef might be restructured, the fries thinner, the sauce a stripped-down version. It all happens quietly, wrapped in the warm, misleading glow of value. Have you noticed your McDonald's burgers tasting a little different lately? Or have you already accepted this as the new normal for fast food? If your chicken felt unusually soft, your fries came out empty inside, or your burger had a faint sour note, chances are you just stepped into the illusion of value they've built. The real question isn't, is the extra value meal cheap? It's whether it's still worth your trust. Number 2. Burger King $5 Your Way Meal. If you think the $5 Your Way meal is a bargain, you might want to take another look at Burger King's math. No one denies that the combo sounds catchy. The name Your Way gives the impression of choice of personalization. But in reality, it's one of the clearest examples of how cheap pricing can box in not just the portion size, but also the quality. The way Burger King defines value in this combo is worth questioning. A Whopper Jr. or Chicken Jr. plus fries, a drink, and sometimes 4 nuggets. On paper, it sounds filling. But when you break it down piece by piece, the only side winning this equation isn't the consumer. Let's start with the so-called burger in the combo. If you've ever ordered a regular Whopper, you remember its distinct build, soft bun, flame-grilled patty with a smoky note sauces layered but not spilling over, and most importantly, that mouth-filling bite. In the $5 Your Way meal, the burger is a scaled-down version. It looks the same on the outside, but inside it's hard to call it a real replica. The patty is thinner, drier, and most noticeably lacking in fat. Some have raised suspicions that it's blended with beef, flavoring a synthetic additive to mimic grilled meat, even when the actual beef content isn't enough to create that flavor on its own. The problem isn't that it's cheap. The problem is how the combo is framed. Nowhere does it say, "This is a Tier 2 meal." Instead, they slap on Your Way, making customers believe they're choosing when in fact everything is preset. You don't get to choose at all. Then there are the 4 nuggets thrown in with the combo. Have you ever wondered why 4? Why not 5 or 6? The answer is simple. Nuggets are the easiest thing to move. These ones are often made with a high filler-to-meat ratio. The outside has a light crunch, but the inside has no distinct chicken fibers. In other words, they're the perfect filler. They make the combo look more generous while using very little real meat. Now picture eating this combo. You're not hungry afterward, but you're not satisfied either. Your taste buds are left floating between artificial sauces, a dry patty, and nuggets that chew more like spongy filler than chicken. It's that feeling of eating without really eating, one of the clearest signs of marketing sleight of hand. And then there's the drink. It usually comes in medium or large, but with ice taking up more than half the cup. Within minutes, the soda is watered down, but the big cup still makes you think you got a deal. It's one of the most common tricks in the fast food playbook and one of the most effective. What makes the $5 Your Way meal interesting isn't the food, it's the psychology. The way it's packaged, named, and priced creates the illusion that the customer is in control, when in truth they're being guided from start to finish. The irony is that most people walk away saying, well, it's only $5. But that's exactly the trap. When something is cheap enough, it slips past all suspicion. So here's the real question. If you're paying $5 for a meal that doesn't taste like real meat, doesn't fill you up, and doesn't leave you satisfied, what are you really buying? A meal or just a ticket into a carefully staged illusion of value? And if you come back the next day because it feels convenient and cheap, then maybe you don't have a choice anymore? Number 3, Wendy's Biggie Bag. Wendy's used to be something special, a place where burgers had real meat texture, where fries were natural, cut with the skin still on, where the menu didn't blindly chase trends but kept its own identity, a touch of honesty in an industrialized fast food world. Then came the Biggie Bag. Not biggie in quality. Biggie in the way they want you to believe you're getting more than what you pay for. In reality, the Biggie Bag is a combo optimized to hit the bargain price point of $5 or $6 depending on location. Inside, you'll usually find a junior burger, small fries, 4 nuggets, and a small drink. Sounds straightforward, but the problem lies in how everything has been scaled down without anyone saying it out loud. According to many customer reports, the burger patty in a Biggie Bag is so thin that light practically shines through it. The texture doesn't resemble Wendy's usual burgers. One customer even said it's mushy, like scraps pressed together. You might think, well, maybe they're just balancing costs. But why is it that when you buy the same burger a la carte, it tastes different, feels different, even looks different in color? The question is whether Wendy's is using a separate batch of ingredients, cheap or lower quality, exclusively for this combo. No one admits it outright, but anyone who's tried both the combo and the standalone item can feel the difference. And then there are the nuggets. In a Biggie Bag, the 4 nuggets often come out fried too fast, unevenly colored on the outside, and soft inside with no clear chicken texture. Calling them chicken-flavored batter would be more accurate than chicken with batter. What about the fries? Once the pride of Wendy's, crispy outside, fluffy inside with the skin left on now in the combo, they tend to be thinner, shorter, and oddly tough, as if they'd been fried a second time. The same question comes up again. Why do Wendy's fries taste different depending on whether they're in a combo? We all know cheap combos come with trade-offs. But if the trade-off is trust, is the meal still worth buying? The Biggie Bag isn't just food. It's a test of how much consumers are willing to tolerate. Wendy's is asking at $5, will you accept a paper-thin burger, limp fries, and nuggets without real meat? And sadly, many people are saying yes. Yes, because they think it's the frugal choice. Yes, because they trust the Wendy's name. Yes, because they don't have time to notice the difference. But if this continues, what's stopping Wendy's from cutting even more next time? A little less meat, smaller fries, a few more ice cubes in the soda. Is that still a value meal? We're not saying Wendy's has changed completely, but the Biggie Bag shows an uncomfortable truth. Even a brand once known for its honesty can step into the game of manufactured value. And the ones who bear the risk are always the consumers. Have you ever compared a Biggie Bag to the standalone items? Did you notice the difference in texture, flavor, and how you felt afterward? If you've ever bitten into a combo burger that didn't taste like Wendy's, chances are you just bumped into the darker side of the Biggie Bag. And in today's fast food world where everything can be restructured, pressed, colored, and packaged with catchy words, the only thing you can really trust is your own taste and your own gut feeling. Number 4. Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. Taco Bell once hooked people for a simple reason: the flavor was different. A little spicy, a little rich, a little melted cheese, all wrapped up in that very American, very distinct Tex-Mex name. But it's exactly that novelty that made many overlook what was happening. The Cravings Value Menu quietly traded both flavor and transparency in order to keep the price tag low. Unlike other chains that push fixed combos, Taco Bell lets you choose from a cravings list with items priced between $1 and $3. It feels like you're in control. In reality, the list is carefully engineered to spotlight the cheapest ingredients. Let's start with the meat. The beef used in many cravings items, especially the beefy Fritos burrito and spicy potato soft taco, was once admitted by Taco Bell itself to contain only 36% real beef. The rest fillers like oats, soy flour, maltodextrin, carrageenan, and other texture enhancers. Yes, you read that right. 36%. Most of what you think is ground beef is really a blend of powders and thickeners. Ironically, this mixture is easier to season, easier to mold, easier to store, and much cheaper than actual beef. What surprises people most, though, is the taste that feels too good. Many say the spice level leaves them chugging water. The richness feels heavier than anything they'd make at home. The sauces always come in a neon orange color with an oddly thick texture. That's no accident. Taco Bell leans heavily on artificial flavors, food dyes, and texture agents to make sure even the cheapest menu items look and taste irresistible. And here's the problem. When the beef is diluted, the sauces are industrial formulas and the cheese is cheese product instead of real cheese, yet the price stays suspiciously low. You have to wonder. You think you're eating a $2 burrito stuffed with meat, cheese sauce, and veggies. What you're really eating is a shell filled mostly with cheap carbs, fillers, and sodium levels that push past daily limits. Some tacos pack up to 700 milligrams of sodium into a single serving, which is a third of your entire daily allowance. Taco Bell knows they can't compete on fresh beef or crisp vegetables, but they can compete on sight: bright colors, overflowing sauces, handheld convenience, Instagram-worthy appeal, all designed to distract you from what's actually inside. The strategy is simple: addict you with flavor. And that flavor doesn't come from nature, it comes from industrial optimization. Every item on the cravings menu is built to make you stop thinking. Heat that hits fast, richness that coats your mouth, fullness that comes quick, but it's the fullness of empty carbs, not real nutrition. Ever eaten Taco Bell and felt full, but also tired? That's likely a food crash caused by refined carbs and sky-high sodium draining your energy soon after the meal. The real danger of the cravings menu isn't the low price. It's the illusion that cheap food can taste good without a catch. Taco Bell isn't lying. They do list seasoned beef on the menu. They do provide ingredient disclosures if you dig deep enough, but most of us don't read. And Taco Bell knows it. If you've ever thought of the cravings menu as your lifesaver at the end of a tight month, now's the time to ask yourself, is this food really nourishing you, or just tricking your senses? Because taste can be manufactured with additives, But quality of life can't be faked with fillers. Number 5. Jack in the Box. Jack's Munchie Meals. Late night hunger. You're tired, hungry, too lazy to cook. You want something quick, cheap, and filling. Jack's Munchie Meals were built exactly for that moment. Available from 9 p.m. until morning, each combo comes with a special burger, 2 sides, and a large soda. The names are even playful, like the Stacked Grilled Cheeseburger or Sriracha Curly Fry Burger. But behind the quirky names and the picture of an overflowing meal lies a truth that's harder to swallow. Jack's Munchie Meals are a storm of calories, fat, and questionable quality control. Let's start with the toppings and sauces, the part most people overlook. Nearly every burger in these combos is drenched in thick sauces, sriracha, mayo, ranch cheese sauce. What few notice is that these sauces top the list of inflammation triggers: industrial oils, preservatives, artificial coloring, and yes, sugar. Sugar in mayonnaise. The danger is you don't even taste it as sweet, but it creeps in, piling up, especially when you're eating tired, when the body slips into comfort eating mode. Next, the burger itself. Some of these aren't just burgers with quirky toppings. One combines a chicken sandwich, curly fries, melted cheese, and a grilled cheese sandwich stacked on top. That means carbs on carbs with a heavy dose of cheese product layered in. You're not eating a burger. You're downing a creation that can hit 1,200 to 1,500 calories in just a few bites. And that's before the sides. Curly fries, the fan favorite at Jack's, take up the largest portion. The catch: they're often fried in advance, lose crispness quickly, and soak up oil if they sit too long. Try calculating the amount of trans fat in a midnight serving like that, and the numbers get ugly. Then there are the cheap tacos with gummy ground meat filling oily fried shells and a paper-thin strip of cheese. They're the kind of tacos that make people ask, how can they sell 2 of these for $1 and still profit? Another red flag is the oversized soda, larger than normal. That's not by accident. At night, your body is slightly dehydrated from fatigue. The more you drink, the more you eat. The more you eat, the more calories and sodium you absorb. Jack's Munchie Meals are engineered as a lock-in system. The more you eat, the harder it is to stop. But after, people often feel bloated, sluggish, and unable to sleep soundly, all thanks to the overload of saturated fat and sodium. And here's the kicker. There are no vegetables. Not fewer, but none. No lettuce, no cooked greens, nothing to balance the weight of the meal. At a time when the body could use something light and easy to digest to help rest better, this combo delivers the opposite: bad fats, refined carbs, and heavy artificial flavor. Jack in the Box knows exactly who they're targeting: people who are exhausted, hungry, low on willpower, and ready to settle for the quick fix. This isn't just about convenience anymore. It's about a strategy aimed right at your weakest moment, turning fullness into a calorie trap. Have you ever eaten a munchie meal, gone to bed, and woken up feeling more tired and thirsty? That's not coincidence. It's the result of a chain of food choices optimized for profit, not for your health. And you have to wonder, if a combo is cheap, convenient, and stuffed, but leaves your body sluggish, was it ever really worth it? There's a strange pattern running through all these value meals. They're cheap, they're convenient, and they're designed so well that people don't realize they're being misled, because no one forces you to eat them. But everything is engineered so you don't stop to think before you order. Every combo is tagged as the best deal, packed with eye-catching photos, huge portions, and over-the-top toppings. But if you sit down and really look at the box, most of it is just surplus from the production line: inconsistent quality, diluted meat, cheap carbs, and industrial sauces. And what's scarier is that your body starts to get used to it.
This video does not promote division within the United States or encourage segregation. All content is presented for the purpose of exploration, analysis, and fostering discussion based on current events, public sentiment, and social trends. We fully respect the United States Constitution and all federal regulations. If today's analysis made you think, drop a comment so we can keep the conversations going. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you will never miss our next independent deep dive.